Good morning, everyone. Hi. My name is Menachem Creditor. It is my honor to serve as scholar in residence for UJ Federation of New York. And we come to you every weekday morning, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, to bring a sense of togetherness, to share some music, share some purpose, some Torah, and presence. And so it is a big gift to be here with you this morning. I am using two devices so that I can see who's here with me. And I can see the number. We're already up to 35 within a few seconds. The power of that is not lost on me. Holy cow. Oh, look at everybody. Look at this. Hi, everyone. All right, let's do the roll call. Adrian, Barry, Kim, Jeff, Adrian. This is two Adrians in half a second. Gewalt. Good morning, everybody. Is Shirley here? It's her birthday. I want to wish her a happy birthday. Oh, all right, Penny, you beat me to it. It is so good. It is so good to be together this morning. It's Thursday. Hope you knew that. And this is a chance for us to jump a little bit deeper into the Torah portion and also just to give each other a pat on the back. It's Thursday. We made it. It's awesome. Tomorrow we'll have the chance to see each other twice. We'll see each other at 9 o'clock, and also we'll see you at 2 o'clock when our CEO Eric Goldstein and I and a bunch of leaders from the diverse parts of our Jewish community come together to say Shabbat Shalom and teach some deep stuff. But ultimately, one of the biggest gifts that we bring each other is what we do every morning at 9, and also on these Fridays that we come together, which is to say, look at the glory of what it is to be part of a unified community that celebrates each other. In this very strange moment where you might see fracture and division as a likely outcome, look how intentional we are as a whole community to be together and to appreciate each other's voices, our distinctiveness within our unity. That's Torah, actually. That's what it's all about. So what a gift it is to celebrate Torah, to know that we're together. So to Jeff, today's the Rebbe's 26th Yortzeit. If I knew that, I would have chosen a different sefer to learn from today. It's still the beginning of the day, but we'll learn together as someone who is a student of a student of a student, you'll see. Thank you for making sure we knew that. William, it's good to have you here. Thank you for all that you're doing. And Carol, Roslyn, Gail, all right. Let's jump into some blessing, everyone. Let's have a purposeful beginning to our day. Deep breath. Oh, Samer, it's good to see you. It has been years since we sat together when I got to see your work at Givat Chaviva. It is good to be together. Thanks for being part of it this morning. All right, everybody, let's start with the bracha. Ya la 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 la, to the ya la la la, to the ya la la la, ay ya la la la. Baruch atah talk about beautiful things that we get to do together. Amy Levitan Kuczynski, Mazel Tov on your daughter and future son-in-law's Ufruf, celebrated virtually this morning, which means celebrated this morning, not virtually celebrated, real celebration. What a gift it is that you get to celebrate with your family, and what a gift you've given us by sharing that with us. Look what community can be, even in these days, and especially in these days, because I might not have known about the joy in your life, and we wouldn't have seen each other in the morning. So the strange blessing of having this new ritual, an everyday togetherness, what a big gift it is. And at the moment we're 98, 99, and over the course of the day it's fascinating to see how many people tune in even afterwards to see what we did in the morning and to be a part of this healing energy. So I want to bless Amy, I want to bless your family. I want to bless your family with so much joy and so much strength, even more than anyone can imagine. May they be blessed with gorgeous love and beautiful commitment and healthy living together. This Parsha has so much to say. And every day I feel myself stumbling over which part of it to emphasize. There's a very basic teaching in Parshat Korach that I've tried to take to heart my whole life as a leader, as a teacher, and I want to point to it again, even though we've touched on elements of it already. There are questions in Jewish tradition and in every tradition and in every society. What are the qualifications of a leader? And the powerful model that Moses provides. So let's just say the obvious. What makes Moses the leader that he is? Strangely enough, he fits a pattern that scholars have pointed to, complicated scholars like Joseph Campbell have pointed to in his book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces. But there's a pattern that Moses fits. He might actually be the origin, who knows, of the pattern, where you are born into a harsh circumstance, you are sent out beyond your birth situation and your adoptive situation to the wilderness for a transformative experience. You encounter something, you come back, and you are then imbued with a certain kind of energy and language and mission with which you serve the other. It's so interesting because Campbell, toward the end of his life, looked at the model of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars as modeled after that. So not only does Moses leave his birth family, his adopted family, go to Midian, encounter the burning bush, and then come back and serve the people, he's neither this nor that, he's something new. So too does Luke Skywalker actually sort of return to his origins and become transformed through the hero's journey, as Stephen Murray is saying. The power of this model shouldn't be lost on us because in order to be the kind of leader the world needs, and in our ancient history, the kind of leader we needed Moses to be, you have to be transformed on the inside. Something has to really touch you deeply so that you become not just renewed, that's good, but you become something more. You transcend the self. You end up exhibiting what Abram Joshua Heschel called transitive concern, so that my primary concern, inevitably will be me, but my life's mission, my work, is to have concern for you. Concern is two different things, self-concern and the power of being concerned for the other. The simplest way of saying this is, if we think that a virus that affects somebody in Wuhan, China, is their problem and not mine, I'm forgetting, how germs work, not just human responsibility. And so, both out of righteousness, I should do the right thing, care about the other, no matter where they live or what's afflicting them. But also, part of what I need to learn in my life to be an effective leader is that the only way I can be me is by taking care of you. The only way I can fulfill the human being I'm called to be is to recognize the humanity in you. We are all different facets of God's image. How can I not care about what happens to you? How can I be an effective leader if my only concern is what happens to me? Hillel said this famously in the Mishnah, Im ein ani li mi li, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? Ve'im ani rak la'atzmi, ma ani. And if I'm only for myself, what am I? Self-regard is an essential part of living. I can only take care of you if I take care of me. We're told that every time we get into an airplane, which I have not done in a very long time. But you need to put the air mask on yourself before you put it on someone else. You need to be strong enough to take care of someone else in order to function as a human being, right? So it's important to take care of self, but that can't be the limit of it. I take care of myself so that I can be of service to the other. And that leads us directly into this parsha. I'm channeling in this next thought some of the wonderful work of the Me'ashilach, the Ishbitzer. If you're curious, look up the Ishbitzer or Rabbi Mordechai Yosef Leiner. He was a fascinating Hasidic rabbi and an intellectual descendant of the founder of Hasidism, the Baal Shem Tov. So here's the thing we know about Moses as a leader. How many times did God have to call him? So many times. At the encounter at the Sneh, the burning bush, please remember, right? We have to remember. God says, I'm calling you. And Moses says, no, not me. God says, I'm calling you. Moses says, no, not me. And God says, I know you. I've known you since before you were born. You're the one I want. You go. And Moses says, oh, I don't speak well. I can't. And what a powerful thing. What a powerful thing to realize that my life's purpose might be better fulfilled by my caution around doing it at first. Is it true that I'm supposed to do this? I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be a parent. All of those moments, we encounter something when we are thoughtful people, ethical people, sensitive people. It's called by some imposter syndrome. Now that's not, I know who the teacher is. I'm not the teacher. I know who the rabbi is. That's not me. I couldn't do that. No one's going to think that I'm worthy of that. But the power is, by wondering whether or not I'm worthy of the noble mantle of leadership, I actually earn it. By having some notion of humility, I am worthy of being a leader. Essentially, when Korach in this week's Parsha says, you take too much power on yourself, he just doesn't get it. He says to Moshe, you're being power hungry. And the truth is, Korach's just projecting his own inadequacy by pointing to Moses and saying, oh, he wants power. Look at him, he's so corrupt, or whatever it is. Because Moses didn't ask for it. Moses didn't want it. Moses said no. The thing that makes a prophet in Jewish tradition is they don't want the job. It's too big. Choose somebody who'll do better, someone more worthy. I can't. And then in the end, God's call from within the prophet is so compelling that they're called, a sense of calling, of giving, of beyond the self-concern. That's what makes a leader a leader. When Moses hears the challenges that Korach and his followers pose, Moses doesn't yell. Moses doesn't push back, not immediately. Moses falls to his face. Because what is Moses' greatest calling, his biggest concern? To raise this people up. And what is the threat in this moment? Korach wants to tear this people apart. He gathers some influencers and some representatives of the different parts of society, and he stages what seems like a popular rebellion, but ultimately it is about self-aggrandizement. It is about Korach's taking center stage. And Parshat Korach, our entire portion, is concerned about the aftermath there. Because even after Korach's rebellion is squashed by crazy response by God, the earth opens up its mouth and swallows Korach and his followers and everybody. Just before that happened, Moses runs around to all the followers and says, get away from this. Don't hurt yourself. The consequence of this kind of destructive power will destroy you. Don't be a part of that. Korach's followers can't hear the warning. And after the earth opens its mouth, and then there's a plague afterwards, Moses and Aaron, who were threatened by this very people, who were scared of losing the reins, not because they wanted them in the first place, but because having a stable center is what holds a people together. Moses and Aaron pray for the welfare of their community and work not just for those who didn't do anything or stood by their sides, work to heal everybody. And perhaps the reason they know how to do that is because they have suffered loss in their life. Perhaps they know how to do that because they're not what they used to be. Each of us has been through things. You don't need to be a Moses. You don't need to be an Aaron. You just need to be a you. Famously, that story by Reb Zusha, about Reb Zusha. He's a revered teacher in his community. And he's nearing the end of his life, and he seems so worried. And his students say to him, but Reb Zusha, Rebbe, teacher, what are you worried about? You're like Moshe Rabbeinu, you're like Moses, you're amazing. He said, I'm not worried about being like Moses. When I get to heaven and I stand before my Creator, I'm not going to be asked, why weren't you Moshe Rabbeinu, Zusha? I'm going to be asked, Zusha, why weren't you Zusha? Why weren't you who you are? So in this moment, each of us has the ability to be a leader, because being a leader means influencing someone else's life. We can do small things like call someone today, go shopping for someone today, help the world today. That's certainly what we do as a UJA community. I'm sure that's what each of us does wherever we are in this world. So those are small ways to affect leadership, but let's cultivate humility within the leadership so that the calling can be more pure, so that we can see in leaders the values we wish to emulate ourselves. What a gift it will be to have our world back in its fullness, to stand together knowing that we stepped up for each other. Not just, I took care of myself in trying circumstances so that I'd be okay. And do that. Please take care of yourself. But remember, you're taking care of yourself so that you can help somebody else. There is no greater thing you can do in this world than help somebody else. Moshe and Aaron model that. For all the complications of the Torah, the model of leadership in this week's Parsha is clear. So we've got some pretty wonderful role models to try to live up to. But we don't have to be them. We've just got to be us. So I bless you. I bless those you love. And I bless those who love you. To feel strong, to feel secure, and to do the hard inner work so that when we emerge yet again, we emerge stronger and more unified than we were when we went into this. So bless you all. Let's sing our way into a really beautiful day. Bless you all. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Take care, everyone.